So, is Marshall Munetsi actually good at football? I have never seen a player split opinion in the Wolves fan base like this in a long, long time. The bloke's like Marmite. Just before I get into Marshall Munetsi, could you please subscribe to the channel? I'm really trying to get to 8,000 subscribers and it really helps the show. So yeah, as I mentioned, I'll just pull up a couple of tweets here which sums it up. One person saying how bad he is, another person saying no, really rate him and he's very good. Now, he come in, didn't he, for 16.6 million from Reims or Rem, whichever way you want to say it. And 16.6 million, 28 years old. A lot of people are like, oh, this is quite a lot of money for someone we don't really know. And when he first come in, I definitely thought he was going to be a centre midfielder, maybe like a defensive midfielder. That was what I originally thought. Then you look into it, you see that he has played attacking midfield and striker sometimes for Rem. And he's popped up with the odd goal. But looking at his clips, he looked quite erratic and just like, you know, very up and down, quite leggy, powerful. And on his debut, when he come on against Blackburn, I think in that game, in just those, what was he on, 30 minutes, second half, he had that chance when Rodrigo Gomez crossed the ball into him and he just headed it wide. Then he had one off a corner that coming back out to him and he absolutely wellied it left of the post. And at those moments, that was a sign of things to come. We were like, wow, fair play to him. He's getting in the positions, drifting in from midfield, but he's just not putting the ball in the back of the net. But everyone was like really, really happy to have him at that point. They're like, wow, he looks very promising. And then we played like Liverpool. In the Liverpool game, when we lost 2-1, he had a great one-on-one, missed that. But I think the big miss, where everyone was like, oh, no, this is getting a bit silly now, was when we beat Bournemouth 1-0 away. He had an absolutely amazing chance second half, puts it wide of the post and 6 yards out, and everyone's like, oh my life, like this is getting a bit silly now. Like he's getting in good positions, but he's got to start putting these away. So I think this is where the narrative for all the people criticising him's come from. They just ignore everything else he does now and just concentrate on all the chances he's missed. He did get his goal against Everton, took it really well, had a good game in that 1-1 draw. He's been involved in a lot of goals. He was involved in the second goal against Southampton, passed it to Bellegarde, and then supplied Larson. And he gets in really good positions, he does. And against West Ham, again, we won 1-0, but the narrative around it was he's missed when he hit the underside of the bar, which I felt was quite unlucky. And then that miss right at the end when it trickled wide of the post. And it's interesting because, yeah, he is missing these chances, but all the other stuff he does, the high pressing, the endless work rate, the really intelligent runs he makes, which creates space for the likes of Strand Larsen. It's no coincidence that Strand Larsen is starting to play a lot better now he's got Munetsi next to him, doing all the runs he does. And I saw a picture from Concept Scouting, who I think he appears on Talking Wolves, so shout out to him. He put a stat on here, which I'll get up. He's in the top 3. It's a counter press stat. He's up there with like Bruno Fernandes and that. So little stats like that proves that he does do a lot off the ball, which goes unnoticed. And while we're on stats as well, let's just get up his Premier League stats from this season. Obviously, he's got the 1 goal, and let's get up his expected. I think he's 0.5 in his expected goals throughout the games, but he should have more. Like the stats prove it right there that are on screen. He should have more goals, but we've mentioned the misses. But I think he's done well. I really do. He probably should have about 3 or 4 goals, to be fair. People could argue he could have 6 or 7, but again, as I keep saying, I don't want to sound like a broken record. At least he's getting in the positions and making opposition defenders think. So yeah, he's got the 1 assist as well, as you can see from that graphic. If you remember right at the end of the West Ham game, that run he made up the right-hand side, which, you know, he got tackled and it went out for a throw, which sparked Vitor Pereira and the coaching staff on the side to go mad and get the Billy Wright going and get the stand going. So things like that is why he's quite a valuable player. But there's a lot of people who think he shouldn't even be starting. And it's very, very interesting. He's the most expensive Zimbabwean player ever. As I mentioned, 16.6 million. And I think, look, I know his missing and his finishing is frustrating, but I personally, in conclusion, is he good at football? I think he's very intelligent. He's good in terms of getting in positions. He's pressing. On the ball, there's a lot of improvements to be made, but he probably won't get much better. He's 28 now. He's probably in his peak years or coming up to them. He's probably not going to get too much better on the ball, but he does simple passing okay. You know what I mean? He ain't like horrendous at passing, in my opinion. It's just, yeah, he's He's got to have a bit more composure. But in conclusion, I think he's a very good footballer, and I think he's more than justified to be a starter. And I don't mind him playing in the position he's in. He's never going to get into midfield over Gomez or Andre, and you've got like Tommy Doyle waiting behind as well, and Boubacar Traore. So I like him alongside Strand Larsen. I think Strand Larsen, Bellegarde and Munetsi have got quite a good understanding going on. They link up quite well. Yes, we're lacking that pace in behind, like to run in behind Strand Larsen, really, for me. But yeah, for me, this is just my personal opinion. I think he's a great footballer, and I'm really happy with the signing. And I think he's a breath of fresh air. He's a real nice bloke as well. He's got good energy, and you can tell all the other players like him too. And you can tell he's very grateful to be having an opportunity to play in the Premier League. So all the doubters, hopefully he starts putting a few more chances away to get behind it. But yeah, but comment your thoughts down below. Please like the video, and please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Cheers, everyone.